So very good evening to one and all. So welcome back to Software Diary. So in the previous video, we started our discussion about Python programming. To be more precise, we talked about full stack Python development. So we classified our complete course into different phases. We classified it into 7 phases. So people who are new to the channel, please go through the previous video to have the complete idea about the roadmap for our full stack Python development. So today we'll start with our discussion about the foundational concepts of Python programming. So we'll start completely from the scratch. So don't worry, even if you are a beginner, easily you will be able to capture the concepts. So before that, if you're new to the channel, then definitely subscribe the channel and also press the bell icon to get instantly notified. And in case if you're having any doubts or any queries, you can reach out to me. And also you can put down your queries in the comment section. Okay, so let us start our discussion about Python programming. So we'll start completely from the basics. So first question that I wanted to ask, or you can put in the comment section as well. So why are you learning Python programming? So why not any other programming language? So this is the first clarity that as a learner, as a beginner, you need to have an idea, right? So I'll explain my point of view as well. So why we need to learn Python. But first thing you need to question yourself is why are you learning Python? Whether it is related for your semesters or whether it is related for your campus placements or whether you're trying to upgrade your skills. So apart from that, you also need to have idea what are the benefits of Python programming. Okay. So quickly, if I talk about the basic of Python programming, so all of you might be knowing, you might have heard that it is very easy to learn. So this is the first thing that you might have heard, that it is easy to learn, right? This is the most common thing that I've heard from many people, that they keep saying it is easy to learn and we can grasp the concepts very easily, right? So yes, that's the first thing. That point is actually true because Python is easy to learn, but it's not that easy when we get into the advanced concept. So it requires a lot of practice, a lot of patience, and you need to master this basic part very well, right? So basically, you might all be knowing that it is a high level programming language. So what is high level? So if you go back almost like olden days, so like if you go to 90s era, at that point of time, completely low level languages were there. So what is low level language? So first you need to understand about how the computer understands whatever we are trying to say. So the computer is basically dumb. It only understands zeros and ones. So even if you want to add two numbers, 10 plus 10, if you want to add these two numbers, so these also should be converted into zeros and ones, right? So something like 11001 plus one something 1101000 like this. You need to give completely in the form of zeros and ones. So then only your particular computer or machine will understand and it will perform the action. So that is completely a low level language. So now you can imagine how hectic it would have been if you want to create any complex program just using zeros and ones. So to avoid that particular thing, we have got many high level languages, not only Python, we have C, we have C++, we have Java, right? So these are all high level languages. So what happens in high level language? So whatever code you basically, okay, you're programming, right? So that will be basically converted into zeros and ones. Okay, so the intermediary, okay, whatever is there to convert that, okay, program into zeros and ones. So that is basically the part of translator. Okay, so basically we have a translator. So that basically converts whatever the program you're writing into zeros and ones. So this is the basic structure, okay, intro part. So that you need to have idea that the machine or the computer just understands zeros and ones, and ultimately whatever code you're writing, whatever program you're typing, right? So that should be converted into that particular format to perform any sort of action. So now the second most question I wanted to ask is, why are we programming? So what is the main purpose of programming, and why do software companies, okay, require this programming? So basically any software company, okay, so they have a proper reason. All right. So they are trying to solve a problem. If you take an example, if you're ordering any food through any food delivery apps, okay, if you go back almost 20, 30 years back, so we used to go manually to the hotels, to the grocery stores, and we used to place the and we used to purchase the items, right? But nowadays, so what happened? The software companies or whatever companies, startup companies, they have seen this as a problem and they found a solution for that. So the application, whatever they're using, that's also software application. So whatever problems you're seeing in and around you, so everything is solved with the help of some or the other software application, right? So for that, obviously, the programming language is required, and for that purpose, there are multiple programming languages. As I mentioned, there are multiple programming languages, and every programming languages has different approach, right? So some people might find Java very interesting, right? Some people might find Python very easy as a beginner-friendly language. It completely depends upon you. And one thing you need to remember is that master only one programming language. So don't jump from Python to Java, Java to C++, or like that. Okay. So learn any particular one language perfectly, master it, and then you can learn other languages as well, because every concept is interrelated. Right? Because in the later stages, when we start a discussion about operators, data types, so some sort of similar meaning will be there. Okay, so I think till here, the basic thing is clear. So now the next concept that I want to talk is about this particular translator. Because as I told, so once you're writing any particular code, right, using Python, or let us take example, since I was discussing about Python. So since you're writing the code in Python, so that particular Python code, with the help of a translator, it is getting converted into zeros and ones. So these zeros and ones is nothing but the machine code which the machine, that is your computer, can understand, right? So in that translator only, there are two terms that you need to understand. It is compiler and interpreter. I think this is the one term that many people might have heard: compilation and interpretation, right? So C, C++, Java, or if you take Python, right? So few are compiled languages and few are interpreted languages. If I talk about Java, it does both compilation and it is an interpreted language. And if I talk about Python, it is completely interpreted language, right? And C, C++, it is compiled language. So what is the difference between both of them? So the basic difference is in compiled languages. So whatever the code you're typing, that is directly complete code in one go is converted into the machine code. Okay, so complete code, whatever code you're typing, right, via C, C++, so that completely is getting converted into machine code. But whereas if I talk about Python, as I mentioned, it is an interpreted language. So line by line execution happens. So it reads one line, executes. It reads another line, it executes. So line by line, whatever code you're writing, right? So line by line execution happens in Python. So Python is a interpreted language. So till here, try to understand the basic concept, but later stages will go in depth and try to understand about PVMs and how this all happens. But for time being, understand this concept. Okay, so why we are learning Python? Because it's a high-level programming language. It is easy, just like how we write English, right? So that simple the syntaxes of Python will be there. But as I told, initial stages will be easy, but later once you get into advanced concept, you need to be very, very careful and need to master the basics part. Okay. So first thing, this is one of the thing, and why we are learning, as I asked you the question as well. If you see the ranking of Python as well, okay, if you go to Toby's Index, this is a one website called Toby's Index. So if you go there, Toby's Index, you can see the ranking of the various programming languages, and you can see Python is at the number one position. Okay, the rating is given and the percentage change, that is how much increment or decrement change is there. And second language is C language, C++. You can see the arrow marks are also shown here to show whether it is going up or going down, the position point of view. Okay, so completely we can't blindly follow this, but as of now you can see that Python is at the number one position and most of the interest people are showing, and that is on Python language. Okay, so that is one thing I wanted to show you. Okay, so next thing, let me show you the index as well. Tobes index, yes. So this is the index. I think the screen didn't got shared. So you can see first position Python, second C, C++, Java, all these things are there. Just for reference point of view, you can just go through it. Okay. So let's get back to our Python screen. One second. Yes. Okay. So yes, so this was the basic intro part. So hope till here there is no doubts. If you have any doubts, definitely you can mention in the comment section. So next thing is for all these things, whatever we are going to learn about the Python, about the basic coding and all, obviously you need to have the Python software installed. So this interpreter or compiler, whatever I'm talking, right, with whether if you're doing Python or C++ or Java, so that directly comes with the software. So when you're installing the Python, right, obviously you'll get a Python interpreter as well. So first step is you need to install the Python. So for that, again, I'm going to share my screen. So once you go to Google, so just type in Python. All right. So once you type in Python, you will see python.org. So from there, you need to download the latest version of the Python. So just if you go to the download section, you can see the latest version as of now is Python 3.14.3. So this is the latest version. So remember one thing, updates keep coming. Okay, the latest update also, you can see the different versions of Python are visible here. Okay, so you can scroll through that. But if you see the latest version, it is showing here as of now is Python 3.14.3. So if you click download here, so it will start downloading. So once you download this, you also need an IDE. So very important thing here. So IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment or Integrated Development and Learning Environment. So this is a place where you can, okay, code in a very effective and efficient way. You have almost all the I mean, whatever code you're typing, you can run it, you can see your results, you can get suggestions. So IDE is one such place where your coding becomes super easy and it helps you in many ways. So basically, we'll be using PyCharm, okay, for our coding perspective. So you can see it is a Python IDE, right? So just you can click download here and it'll start downloading. So just download it. It might take some time. So first step is you need to download the Python, right? And then you need to download an IDE. So it started downloading, you can see. So when you're downloading it, right? So first and foremost thing when you're downloading, so add extension to path. So that also you need to select. So keep that point in mind. So that is only one thing I wanted to tell you. And after that, you download this particular PyCharm IDE. So complete these two steps. So once you're done, so in the next session, we'll be starting our main concepts related to Python. So hope this introduction video is very much clear. So if you have any doubts, make sure you ask in the comment section and do like the video. So thank you for watching.